disgusting. Whenever we have family over, they always ask about our sweet tea. Whenever we have family over, they ask about our sweet tea. Family. Whenever we have friends over, they ask about our sweet tea. Only Satan likes the red kind better. Whenever we have friends over, they ask. Whenever we have friends over, they ask about our sweet tea. Occasionally, once every 10 times. A few times, actually. We make our own sweet tea. And so today, I'm going to show you how we make our sweet tea. Now, the most important thing that you can have is Jesus. And then after that, the most important thing that you can have is Red Diamond tea bags. If you do not have this, the whole system will be destroyed and everything will be ruined. And your tea will not taste good. Your tea will be bitter. Thus, why you must have the Red Diamond tea bags. Now, the most important thing that you can have is Jesus. But after that, you must have a weird, it's not a pan and it's not a pot, but it is the most important thing that you can have is Jesus. And then after Jesus, the most important thing that you can have is a weird pot thing. You must take your weird pot thing and fill it up to exactly where the tea stains in on your weird pot thing. I suppose since this is a tutorial, I may as well actually measure the amount of liquid. That is about a third, no, 3/4, 3.5/4 of 4 cups. Wait, 3.5 cups. I know how to read. Put your water on the stove. Now, the most important thing you can have is Jesus. The second most important thing you can have is a stove. Turn it on high and put your water on your stove in your weird pot on the stove and have these handy. Now, the most important thing that you can have is Jesus. But the second most important thing, and this really is the most important thing, is a teapot. And no, this is not a teapot. But you cannot have just any picture. This is important. It has to be one that has been enchanted by fairies. I come from a very Irish family. We come from the Ireland. We only drink tea that has been enchanted by fairies. And fairies cannot enchant tea itself, because tea is a thing of nature. But they can affect the capsule, and the capsule will affect the flavor of the tea. Most people try to follow our tea recipe, and they go home and they say, well, it didn't taste the same, it was too bitter. That is because they did not have an enchanted picture enchanted by teas. enchanted by fairies, I mean. Much like a cast iron skillet has to be seasoned in order for it to really work, your tea picture must be enchanted by fairies with fairy seasoning. So while our water is heating up, I am going to take the picture and I am going to set it out for the fairies to enchant it. Hello, puppy. Now that that's happening, let's check on our water. It is beginning to steam. Once it begins to boil, and boiling means there's little bubbles in it, we are going to turn the stove off, and we are going to put 2 tea bags into there. If you wish, you can choose to watch the water boil. Bubbles. You have to wait for them to be larger bubbles. Right now they're just small bubbles. And now they're medium bubbles. Two bags. 1, 2. Turn the stove off and put in your tea bags. 1, 2. Hello. Hello. It is important to finish your tea before the guests arrive. Turn your timer on for
Can't even turn the timer on.
Turn your timer on for 5 minutes, and then once that 5 minutes is up, turn it on for another 10 minutes. And if you wish, you can turn it on for 15 minutes. Once your tea has about 2 more minutes on it, you can go out and collect your picture from the fairies. They'll be done by then. It's important that you leave it with them though, because they don't like to be seen. Now the most important thing you can do is accept Jesus. But after that, the most important thing you can do is fill your magic tea picture up to the top of the bottom of the handle with water. You see the bottom of the handle, there's a top of the bottom of the handle, and there's a bottom of the handle, and you want to fill it up to the top of the bottom of the handle. The most important thing you can do is accept Jesus. But after that, you can buy some sugar. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to take 1 scoop of sugar. Is this a cup? You're going to want to pour that into the water, and you're going to want to get another scoop. They don't have to be perfect, but they do have to be full. If you put a 3rd thing of sugar, it'll taste like Milo's. I discovered that on accident one day. Now the most important thing for you to have is Jesus. But then after that, you need to have a wooden spoon. Mainly so you can use it as a microphone. But then you're going to want to take your fully steeped tea. You see that nice darkness? Use your spoon to hold the tea bags so they don't fall in, and you want to pour it into your magic tea picture. And go ahead and give it a stir so that the sugar can dissolve into there magically. This doesn't work if you don't have an enchanted tea picture. Now you see it's not all the way full, so we're going to take this with the bag still in there, and we're going to fill it with water again with the bag still in there. And you're going to want to take your wooden spoon again. The most important thing you can do is accept Jesus, but then after that, you want to fill the picture all the way up. And now you have a picture of tea. Not an actual picture of tea. If you take a picture of it, you will have a picture of tea, but you will have a container of tea. If you follow the steps in this, you will have a container of good tea and not satanic tea. Now, if you want to ruin your tea, a really good way to ruin your tea is to mix it with lemonade and create a pro golfer, someone. You just don't tell the fairies, unless they're northern fairies from the north. Tea.